Hi, welcome to Ray at the Movies, and today, welcome to my 31 days of Halloween. Well, I upload every day for the whole month of October. And today is, as of today, it is September 8th, 2024. And I wanted to do a review on Pumpkinhead. A little bit of a description of why I love this movie so much. I first heard of Pumpkinhead, not through Fangoria magazine, because I wasn't reading the magazine at the time. I'm a military brat. My dad was in the military, so he came from Okinawa to the States, and was at a video store, VHS, buying 4 VHS tapes, 3 or 4, I can't remember, but I do remember which ones I definitely did buy. I bought Leviathan, Pumpkinhead, Child's Play, and Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, which is a very misleading title because he's not in Manhattan through the whole movie. It's towards the end. So anyways, I came across this VHS cover of Pumpkinhead. Never heard of it before, and I'm like, what is this? Now, I'm not doing a review on the Blu-ray from Scream Factory because they have a 4K that I'm going to buy, and then I'm just going to give this to somebody. But this is the cool little cover. This is not the original cover, of course. This is their artwork for Pumpkinhead. Very good poster artwork there. I wish I had purchased it right when it came out, because when they come out through Scream Factory or Shout Factory, you get this cool poster you can get. Wish I did that, but that's alright. So let's talk about the movie. It's a movie that I really like because it deals with a father's grief over his son's death by accident by a group of teenagers. He gets angry, gets mad, and he seeks revenge off of those responsible for his son's death. He feels, where Pumpkinhead comes into play. So let's go into the cast real quick. We have, Pumpkinhead was released limitedly in 1998. Not 1988, sorry. It says this was released January 13th, 1989, and it was not. That was when it was released statewide. It had a limited release in 1988. I know it says 1988 because this says 1988. I remember it coming out in 1988. And of course, everywhere you look it up, 1988. So let's go into the cast. We got Lance Henderson, one of my favorite actors. A very talented actor. He's good in no matter what movie he's in. Even if the movie sucks, his performance is fantastic. You might know him from The Terminator, Aliens, Alien 3, Millennium, the TV series. He also was in the sci-fi movies of Pumpkinhead 3 and 4. Then we have, of course, Jeff East, who did Superman the movie, Summer Fear, Deadly Blessing, Up the Creek. John D. Quenlo, who did No Way Out, Sequest 2032, the series, Corey in the House TV series, Most Wanted Santa, Kimberly Ross, The Last Starfighter, Nightmare at Noon, Joel Hoffman, Cards of Death, Killer Workout, Slaughterhouse, Not of This Earth, the 1988 one with Tracy Lords, Cynthia Bain, The Troop TV series, Big Rig Rush TV series, Summer Camp, Carrie Remsen, Ghoulies 2, Two Moon Junction, After Midnight, White Man's Burden, Florence Scoffler, Bachelor Party, Stranded, Problem Child, The Favor, Brian Brimmer, Society, Spontaneous Combustion, Silent Night, Deadly Night 5, The Toy Maker, Vicious, George Buckflower, The Fog, Back to the Future 1 and 2, Sundown, The Vampire in Retreat, Puppet Master 2, Matthew Hurley, his only role, he's the one that plays the son. Directed by Stan Winston, with his only movie credit is a gnome named Norm. He also did the music video for Michael Jackson's Ghost. Ghost or Ghosts. I even put that in there. Story by Mark. Excuse me, let me back up for a minute. This is based off a poem by Ed Justin. Story by Mark Patrick Carucci, Stan Winston, Richard Weinman. Screenplay by Mark Patrick Carucci. Neon Maniacs, Buried Alive, Flying Saucers Over Halloween, The Plan 9 composition. Gary Gerani, Vampirella, Trading Point, Music by Richard Stone, Tiny Toon Adventures, Tasmania, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain. Special effects by the Stan Winston Studios. And here's the story. After his son dies in a hit-and-run accident, Ed Harley, Lance Henderson, seeks revenge against the teenagers responsible with the help of a local witch, Florence Scoffler. Ed summons the vengeful demon Pumpkinhead to hunt and kill the group of friends, but when Ed discovers a bond between himself and the creature, he begins to have second thoughts about employing the vicious monster, and he fights to end Pumpkinhead's murderous rampage before it's too late. And here's some trivia. Lance Henderson had a set of dentures made to give him a more rural look. He also gathered all of his own props and wardrobe, including a World War II pump-action shotgun. His cap won throughout the film and silver dollars, which he gave to Haggis. The costume Florence Scoffler wore as Haggis weighed about 65 pounds. Fun was in fact the prevalent mood on the Pumpkinhead set. Despite many additional burdens and responsibilities, Winston brought the same sense of humor and lighthearted spirit to directing Pumpkinhead as he had to his creature effects. Assignment. Stan Winston was a blast as a director, called Alex Gillis. He was fun and completely relaxed on the set, as if he didn't have a care in the world. Remember one day when we were in this cramped cabin set, and I was very tense and tired because Shane and I had spent 3 hours applying makeup to the actress playing the witch. But then I looked over and saw Stan standing across the room staring at me with his glasses cocked at a weird angle on his head, just to make me laugh. There was my director, making an idiot of himself for nobody's benefit but mine. This isn't something most directors would do. Lance Henderson gathered all of his silver dollars himself by visiting several pawn shops. He said that most of them fell through the boards of Haggis' shack, where they may still lie. Lance Henderson, Pumpkinhead has since become a cult classic since its release among fans, novelists, Anne Rice, and many of the Stan Winston studio crew members that worked on the show. When I revisit Pumpkinhead after all these years, said Shane Manhan, and I realized that it was done in 1987, all in camera, and for only $3 million. I'm amazed at how much movie is there. I think it's really impressive example of first-time directors' work, and it is still used as a model for low-budget films. People reference Pumpkinhead all the time when they are looking at how to make an effective low-budget movie. The costume Florence Scoffler wore as Haggis. Oh, I accidentally put this twice, okay. The dog actor Mushroom did his own stunts for this film. He also did his own stunts for Gremlins 4 years previously. Because of Stan Winston's request, the screenwriters made both Pumpkinhead and Haggis, the old woman, much darker than in the original script. From the sculpture, studio artists and mechanics created a suit and head, which was worn on the set by Pumpkinhead performer Tom Woodruff Jr. To avoid wear and tear on the set, suit Woodruff was glued into it at start of the shoot day and remained in the foam rubber construct for up to 8 hours at a time. God dang, that's tough. But hey, it looks great on screen. Pumpkinhead doesn't really resemble a pumpkin. It gets its name from the fact that summoning it invokes digging up a corpse that's been buried in a pumpkin patch. Originally, producers from De Laurentiis Entertainment Group, DIG, the film's production company, had sent Winston to the script, hoping to engage Winston Studios to create the Pumpkinhead demon. But when Winston quickly recognized that in Pumpkinhead he had found an ideal property for his film directing debut, it was a small picture, something I thought I could handle as a director, and I felt there was a lot that I could bring to the story. So I told the producers, yeah, I'll do the creature, but only if I can direct the movie. The origin of the story was a poem by Ed Justine. This film, orphaned by bankruptcy of De Laurentiis Entertainment Group, eventually garnered a spotty release when acquired by United Artists, which tested the films under the alternate title Vengeance, the Demon. Yeah, it is also known as that. Give me a minute. I need a sip of my coffee here. Alright. There was a shorthand with Stan Winston that made it so easy, John Rosengrant elaborated. We could go to him with something and ask, is this enough? Will this do it? And he could look at it and immediately say, yeah, that will be fine, or no, we need more. That's very different than the normal situation where you have to overbuild just in case the director changes his mind and wants something more once he is on the set. Stan knew exactly what the tools were, what he needed and what he didn't need. We didn't have to go through the process of educating him as we do with many directors. That made the whole job easier and a lot more fun. The cabin where Steve and the others go is the same one used as Jarvis' house in Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Screenwriter Mark Patrick Carucci and Gary Gurney were inspired by the horror movie of Mario Bava, which I have never seen any of his movies, and I'm into the Italian horror films. I need to get my game back up and watch those. An early scene introducing the young adults from the city at a diner was filmed but cut from the final version of the movie. While Winston refined the narrative, artists at his studio, led by Alex Innes and Shane Mahan, John Rosengrant, and Tom Woodruff Jr., designed Pumpkinhead as a humanoid demon with a very large and irregular head, withered facial features, and long clawed fingers. Since Stan was directing the movie, said Gillis, he turned the creature over to us, said Stan said. I'm the director on this. I'm the client. You guys are the effects guys. It was great to have Stan's encouragement to just go with it. On our own, we sat down and started drawing, and then we presented these drawings to Stan, and he made suggestions that how the character of Pumpkinhead developed. Then I sculpted the head, and Tom and John sculpted the body. Two of Stan Winston's children can be glimpsed as members of Wallace clan. Winston Studios provide additional Pumpkinhead suits for stunt sequences, as well as dead bodies and makeups. Winston's savvy regarding creature work enabled him to make the most of his small creature effects budget, which was just a fraction of the film's overall budget of $3 million. It is funny, but we never had a sense of being constrained by the budget on that show, Shane Mahan commented, and that was because Stan knew what to spend the money on and how to get the most out of everything we built. Although the FX team created the Tingler monster, Stan Winston was so busy with directorial duties that he was unable to directly supervise their work. The legendary That Guy Buck Flowers once said that working on this film with Stan Winston was a pleasant experience. Buck plays Mr. Wallace, which seems to go against his unusual typecast as a drunkard or a bum. Given Stan Winston was busy refining the story, he gave free rein design to artists Alex Gillis, Shane Mahan, and John Rosengrant and Tom Woodruff Jr., the last of whom also wore the Pumpkinhead suit. Winston's experience regarding the creature work enabled the effects not to use too much of the limited $3 million budget. The nature of Pumpkinhead is unknown, and some fans speculate that it might be the incarnation of a demon. The Pumpkinhead of this film does things such as speak, while the Pumpkinheads of later films don't. The Pumpkinhead summoned by Ed Harley could possibly be the one from the beginning of the film, which he saw as a young boy. This is a very good movie. The monster, the Pumpkinhead creature, is very maniacal and very smart and clever on how he does away with the teenager and how he tricks them. And he seems to enjoy killing them in the most painful ways. This is a fun film. Not a fun film. It's a great film. I really like it because it brings a lot of emotion in the beginning with the death of his son, and then him wanting to get revenge for his son's death. And I really highly recommend this movie. I give it 5 out of 5. It's one of my favorite movies, and a perfect movie, I might ask, for Halloween, since it did come out in October. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and like I said, I recommend it. Check this movie out. You're not going to be disappointed. It's a fun movie. It doesn't drag. The story flows at a nice speed. It doesn't. The characters are very well written, and the cast does a great job, especially Lance Henderson. Especially him. He really comes across with all his emotions that's needed for the role. He is a very talented actor. It's great to see him shine in this. I'm not sure this was his first important role, but yeah, it's a very good movie. I highly recommend it. Check it out. And with that, I'm out of here. Thank you. One more thing I forgot to say. This movie spawned 3 sequels. All 3 direct-to-video, Pumpkinhead 2, and then 3 and 4. 3 and 4 were directed by, were produced by Sci-Fi Channel. And let's see if I can figure out what the name of what year they came out. Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings came out in 1994. Pumpkinhead Ashes to Ashes, 2006. And where'd the other one go? Okay, Pumpkinhead Blood Feud, which came out in 2007. Now, those were filmed back-to-back by the Sci-Fi Channel, and it's an okay movie. Those are okay movies, and they bring back Lance Henderson. Because you watch the end of the movie, you'll understand why they brought him back for those. And Pumpkinhead 2 was not originally conceived as a Pumpkinhead movie. It was later decided to turn it into a Pumpkinhead movie. That's why if you watch the movie, some of the lore doesn't add up, and they don't go with the lore of the film from the first film. So with that, I'm out of here. I forgot to include that there was 3 sequels. Whether they're good or not, I think the second one's pretty good. It's pretty decent, and the creature looks as good as it does because they took the actual mold from the creature effects from the first movie. They still had the mold of the creature, so that's why it looks so good in the movie. All right, with that, I'm out of here.